guest speaker, and this is actually an extension from our hamburgers and higher ed luncheon that we had a couple of months ago. And one of the requests that came out of that luncheon over at Star Ranch was to address the skills for small businesses, and that's today's presentation is and what it will address. And our featured speaker is with the Texas Workforce Commission, Tanya Eychner. Tanya works with the Business Service Outreach team, promoting and presenting several Texas Workforce Commission programs, including Skills for Small Business programs and the Skills Development Fund program to business partners throughout the state of Texas. Tanya provides technical assistance as well, and works with colleges and advises businesses in all aspects of these programs. Prior to joining the Texas Workforce Commission, Tanya worked as a corporate recruiter and HR generalist for 10 years in the private sector. Please welcome Tanya Eychner.
Good morning. Yes, I'm Tanya Eychner with the Texas Workforce Commission in Austin. We have a couple of programs that are helpful to businesses around the state of Texas. The one we're going to talk about today is the Skills for Small Business program. This program particularly funds training for small businesses throughout the state of Texas. We define a small business as having less than 100 employees, total employees. At least one full-time regular employee, but less than 100. And so if your business qualifies for at least that aspect, then this might be a good program for training your employees. Okay. This program was developed because Texas has that number is actually increased since this information was put out, but over 433,000 small businesses in the state of Texas. And the number just keeps increasing, as you all know. Skills training increases competitiveness for your business. That's the main point of this program, is to help your small business grow by increasing the knowledge base of your employees and being able to be more competitive in the industry that you're in. Upgrades employee skills, prepares newly hired employees also. For example, if you bring a new employee into your business who's just short of the skill set that you think they might need to grow to a higher level position, this program can fund training for that person to give them a little more advanced skill set. Maybe they don't have the customer service skill that you thought they had, or perhaps they might be a good candidate for a management position, and so they need a little bit more management skill set, human resources skill set, anything like that you think might be helpful for your business that the community college can teach. This is what this program can help to pay for. So this funding program trains employees through the community college for businesses that have, like I said, less than 100 employees. Part-time employees are counted in the number of employees, but only your full-time regular employees are eligible to participate in the program. And as the business owner, you also would be considered a full-time regular employee. So if there are accounting programs maybe that you're starting to use, or again, management, language skills, any course that the community college offers is eligible to be covered by this program. Tuition and fees for the program are paid up to $1,450 for a new employee and up to $725 for existing employees. For the purposes of this program, a new employee is someone who started working for you up to 90 days from the date that you submitted an application for that employee. And so we would consider them new, and they would have up to $1,450 worth of tuition and fees paid for them to go to courses. Now, online courses are acceptable, so they don't have to leave the office. But courses at a campus are good. Generally, employees will take courses that are more workforce education, continuing education courses. They're not necessarily semester-based, and that's okay. Semester-based courses are funded also, But if there is, let's say, a QuickBooks course that happens on Saturday, between, for maybe a 4 or 6 hour course, your trainee, your employee can go to this course for a Saturday and then come back on Monday and know how to do this and implement that training at your business. And that's the point of this program. It's something that they can use right away at your business. Now, the difference in funding for incumbent employees versus new hires is there's half the amount. The reason is that if you hire someone who has almost the skill set that you need, we have one less person on perhaps a public assistance program, one less person receiving unemployment because you hired them, and so we'll fund more of their training to get them to the level that you need them to be. So it's a win-win for everybody. The courses are selected from catalogs. Community colleges are eligible training providers. Texas State Technical Colleges are eligible training providers, and the Texas Engineering Extension Service out of Bryan College Station is also an eligible training provider. Private, for-profit, technical schools are not allowed, and universities, I don't make the rules, but universities are also not eligible training providers at this time. The technical college, engineering extension service, and any of the 72 community colleges are eligible training providers for this program. The courses that are acceptable through this program are anything that the college has on their catalog, which there's a list in this brochure that you'll have on your chair as well. But also, if there's something that's not on the list, or if you get on the website and don't see what you're looking for, you can always call the college. And we have a direct contact at every community college campus in the state that works particularly with our programs. And so they can tell you if they have ever offered the course that you're looking for. If you think, oh, well, maybe they don't do web-based, or they don't have, like, I want to build my website, but I don't see that course listed, give them a call, because chances are they have done it before. They can't list everything. And so if they can get enough interest from the community, then they'll offer it, because they've done it before and they can do that. And we don't consider that customization. We consider that something they've done before. If it's a normal course of business for them to go to a business to train a handful of employees, 5, 7, 10 employees that maybe all need some sort of customer service training or English, Spanish courses or something like that. If that's a normal course of business for the college, which a lot of times it is, then that's okay. We'll cover the tuition and fees for that also. One thing that isn't covered by this is books. If there's a book, that cost is not covered unless the college includes that in the course cost. So if it's included, we don't care. That's not our business. We're not going to ask them to itemize. What are you guys charging for? Whatever their advertised cost is for that course, that's what the fund will pay. And so the only cost to a business would be allowing the person to be outside of the work environment for however long it takes for them to attend the course. But of course the benefit is also they come back to you with a knowledge base that's going to help increase your business. Your traffic, your competitiveness, your ability to do business, and that kind of thing. So everyone always asks, what do I get at? Well, you get a trained employee at no cost to you, unless it's a book. And then you might have to pay for that. Or you can work with the employee and decide who is going to pay for that. Do you want the employee to pay for it because now they're trained in QuickBooks? And so they keep that book and they pay for it? Or do you want to pay for it as a business owner? That's up to the business to decide. So new employees, those hired up to 3 months prior to the application date that we mentioned. Trainees must be full-time regular employees. We don't tell you what full-time is. You tell us that they're full-time. However you deem a full-time schedule, some businesses say 30 hours, some say 40. That's fine. You tell us it's full-time. If you have a differentiation, maybe because full-time employees receive benefits, then that's fine. If you're not sure, you can call and we can try and help you figure out, well, this person works for me most of the time, but then they go home and do something else or work for part-time someplace else. We'll help you figure it out. Because for small businesses, it's a little different than like a Dell, where everyone has a specific number of hours and it's on their in their personnel file and all those other things. For small businesses, we understand that people wear different hats, and so we'll help you figure out which is the biggest hat that you wear and where you should fall in job title and prevailing wage rates and all these other things. We help you deal with all of that. Speaking of prevailing wage, trainees must earn a prevailing wage. That's not a minimum wage, and it's kind of hard to explain. We have the Department of Labor puts together a study of individuals with particular job titles in particular workforce development areas throughout the state. And so the prevailing wage rate is a percentage of that job title for your wage rate. So call me and we'll figure it out if you have a question. The college can help figure it out as well. There's a tutorial, it's like 18 pages long. So you don't have to deal with that. You can give us a call and we can help you figure out what the prevailing wage rate is and if your employees meet that wage rate for that job title in this area. Businesses apply directly to our office anytime. There's no time frame. This is not a semester-based or seasonal-based or anything like that. The applications are on the Texas Workforce Commission website. On the back of this brown brochure, there's a lot of information. There's our ssb.workforce.org, which is the website. There is a link there to the application. For this program, you, the business, pulls up the application and fills it out. It's not very labor intensive, but all we do is work with businesses and colleges on our programs. So if you ever have a question on, I don't know what you're asking me here in question number 3, call us. There's our toll-free number. There are 10 of us in the office, and this is what we do. Or we were talking earlier, and I was in Palestine yesterday working with another community college over there and some businesses over there. I go to El Paso, I work with West Texas, and then I have other teammates who work in different parts of Texas. And this is all we do is answer questions and work with businesses and work with these programs particularly. So you can take a look at the application. It does ask for information about the business. We want to know your business ID number, we want to know tax ID number. We want to know the job titles for the employees that you want to train, what courses you're interested in sending those employees to. That's all in the application. That is information that you will get from this information, but also from Temple College is here today, and they can talk a little bit more about how that process works from their end. You'll want to be in contact with the college because we need to have a start date of the course. We need to have a course title and number and the cost. We need to know how much this is going to fund. Now the colleges all have, they already have funding for these programs in a little pot. It's a little pot of money. And every time a business applies to this program, it goes through our office, we get the application, we give you a call, we talk to you about any questions we might have, we talk with the college, and it really is a collaborative effort between the business partner, obviously the employee, because they're the ones who are going to be doing it, and the college. We work together if, for example, a class doesn't have enough interest or something like that, maybe the class doesn't make, and we need to put that person or those people in a different class, then we work with the college and work with the business to find another course. Maybe there's something comparable, or maybe they're going to have another course later that might have more people in it, or something like that. But bottom line is we work with you on lots of aspects of this program, and we have a pretty good turnout. We had about $2 million that was earmarked particularly for this program about the year before last, and because the courses are not very expensive, you can take a course, $80 course here, $200 course there. That $2 million has been whittled away a little, but there's still a lot of money out there that is it's free for businesses, and it's general revenue funding that funds these programs. So it's all our money to help train our employees and to help our small businesses throughout the state. So you should take advantage of it if you have a need. The money's out there, the program is out there, and I promise this form is not as labor intensive as some of our other programs that take months and months to work on. This program, if you apply, the process is, I would say maybe 2-3 weeks, just depending on what's happening with the rest of the state. The beginning of a regular semester is usually kind of a crazy time because when community college here is starting classes, they're also probably starting classes, North Texas and West Texas and Central and South and everything like that. So we do get ebbs and flows. But because a lot of the courses are not semester based, there's so many, they offer them, so many different times that we do get, a pretty steady flow of applications. And so a couple of weeks is probably a good heads up if you know that information. And then calling the college can help get that information. You'll get that information a lot faster and easier than having to flip through websites and web pages and do I click here, which campus, where am I going, what time? Just call college and they'll give you all the answers. Right? Yes. So here's our contact information. It's all on the back of the brown brochure. There's the application and instructions for how to apply, the prevailing wage tutorial, local community college information, and also there's a list of local workforce board targeted occupations. If the job title and position that you want to send to training is not on that list, that's okay. They just like to know, and it's on there. Is this job title on the governor's list of job posting high interest positions around the state? If it isn't, like I said, that's okay. We just like to know. So we have taken a poll. Just want to make sure and see if it's on there or not. So if we have a few more minutes, I'd like for Kathy from Temple College to come up and just talk a little bit about how the program works from the college side and how they can work with you on filling out the application, particularly for this program. So this is Kathy Brander from Temple College. Thanks.
How many of you were at the Hamburgers and Higher Education in August, or April 30th? Great, good turnout. So you all remember that Temple College Business and Community Education is the side of the college that really focuses on training individuals, transforming organizations. We're the side where you don't have to show your SATs or ACTs, you just sign up for classes. So we have, if you'll remember, we have two sides to our side of the college. And primarily we do open enrollment classes and we do customized contract training for businesses because it's all about individual development, leads to organizational development, leads to economic development. That's how we connect with all of these good partners that are in the room here today. So if you'll remember, when we were there, you all did an activity using those index cards and gave us some ideas on what are the training needs that you have or that your employees have. And we also asked you to give us some information about scheduling. When would be good times for classes? And boy, did we get a range of response to that. But we took that information from you, from all those who participated, all those index cards, and we compiled it to try to see what are the trends, what are the most urgent needs that we should try to address this first go-around as the UTEC campus opens this fall. And that's what we did. And so what you have in front of you, thanks to Erin Spencer and her team, is a brochure of what we have. And I want to focus on those open enrollment classes because that ties into what the Skills for Small Business will pay for. So if you open up your flyer here, your orange fall-looking flyer, what you'll see is that on the first half of that, down at the bottom, it says Hutto Fall 2013 classes. These are what we would call regular continuing education or business and community education, workshops, classes, and so forth. And these are some that we have scheduled to meet your needs. iPads for business use. Ann Cano will be the instructor of that one. So that's one that we heard. Help us learn some more about this new technology. We've got that scheduled for Wednesday morning starting early, 7:30. 3 Wednesdays, 7:30 to 10. Service excellence. That's a program that will meet two of the needs that came through loud and clear. One was we need people who have great interpersonal skills just to talk with one another. But we also need people who can handle those irate customers. So this program is 2 sessions. The first session is a prerequisite for the second, and so we offer them together because, let's face it, we all have customers. even in our homes, we have customers that we're trying to please and satisfy. So the first session, this is a Saturday class, a Saturday morning class. It's very skills-based. People will learn words to say, techniques to use. It's not just about smiling, although that's important, but they will learn about different techniques. The first session is all about how can I communicate effectively? How can I have a positive impact when I interact with other people? And that lays the foundation then for the second session, which is all about taking the heat. When those irate customers or constituents come to you, how do you handle them effectively so that they'll talk it through with you versus walking out the door and then talking to everybody else because they're frustrated? So how do you save those customer relationships and keep them going strong? So that's going to be a Saturday morning class. Then we have, and one of the things we heard was we want to know how to manage our employees more effectively. How do you deal with the human resource things? What are the legal requirements, and also just what are some best practices? So we're bringing in our program called Essentials of Human Resource Management. We offer this in partnership with SHRM, the Society for Human Resource Management. They are known worldwide for their quality and materials. We'll have a certified HR professional leading this class, and it will be in the evenings, Tuesday evenings, 5 Tuesday evenings. It's a 15-hour workshop. And then last that we have for our regular classes, we also heard from you, we want our office professionals, our admin assistants, our secretaries, we want them to be effective in their role. So we are bringing in a trainer who is one of our most popular trainers, and she's going to do a one-day workshop called Success Strategies for Office Personnel. These would all be eligible if they're job related to your individuals for the Skills for Small Business, if your business is eligible, if you have 100 or less employees, or less than 100 employees. So that's one way that we deliver open enrollment classes. The second way that we deliver open enrollment classes is in partnership with the academic side, where Robin comes into play more. And so these are what we call concurrent classes or mirror classes. This is where you can sign up for these classes through us, through the business and community education area. So again, you don't have to do your SATs and ACTs and go through a real formal application process. You simply complete a one-page registration form, or you do it online. But when you go to these classes, you will be in the same classroom with those who are taking these classes for degree purposes, for semester credit hours. And so what we have here that are happening at the new campus, principles of accounting, business computer applications, that's pretty much of an intro to computers, learning about the hardware, the software, just the basics, laying a strong foundation and getting some exposure, as I understand it, to Microsoft Office Suite. Principles of business, and Ann is teaching that one as well, right, Ann? That's yours? Okay. Business law. Integrated software apps, this is complete. Office 2010, it's really focused on how do you use Word, Excel, PowerPoint. That's something we heard from you. And so right now, for this first step, as we're easing in and making transitions and starting this process of serving the Hutto community, we're doing some of this through the academic side to meet some of those needs. There's even correctional systems and practices for those of you who need maybe some continuing education credits or want to learn more about that aspect of the working world. And lastly, a project management software class. So that's what we have started for you right now. We wanted to schedule this session with Tanya here to talk to you about skills for small business, and we wanted to schedule these classes so you have time to apply for that if that applies for you, if that works for you. So here we are, it's early July. The concurrent classes, those listed on this side, will begin with the academic schedule, which is August 26th, that when they start. So those classes will run a semester long. They begin August 26th. If you want these classes, you need to be filling out that application pretty promptly to get skills for small business. These we've scheduled to start beginning in October, so you've got a little bit more time. This is not necessarily all-inclusive. Just as Tanya said, we can be real flexible. If we know that there are typically 5 to 8 of you who need a class, let's say you need QuickBooks, That was a need that came across, but not as loud as some of these others. But if that's something that we know that there's a core of you, we'll work to schedule it, and we can usually get something scheduled within a few weeks or a month. So we want to be responsive to your needs. This is just our starting point with that. I want to also make sure if all of you know Dennis McDonough, who is one of my colleagues, and Dennis has a strong background in the IT world and in the manufacturing, a lot of green manufacturing experience, and he is our grants coordinator. So he works most closely with Tanya, and he can really be a great resource as you're filling out that application she talked about, particularly as it relates to finding the right SOC. The socket. Go ahead.
I can help you with that. Look at that application. It's not very complicated, but it does ask for some technical details that we can really help you with. You won't be scratching your head first. Just call us and we'll probably answer your question in just a couple of minutes.
What questions do you have about what we're doing this fall that we have planned at this point in time, or about the Skills for Small Business grant that you would like answered? All right, well, just remember, we're here to train individuals and transform organizations, and we work in partnership to know what the needs are, to bring you resources to help fund that. And in the back are more of these brochures as well as registration forms. Again, if you don't qualify for the program that Tanya's talking about, guess what? We take cash, credit cards, checks.